Now at 10, the Carl Junction Marching Band hosts its annual Marching Band Festival. Plus, the community of Ware honors its town's history during homecoming celebrations. And the PKY Skateboard Park in Parsons, Kansas holds a skateboard competition for local skaters.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Quapaw, Oklahoma man is dead after a crash near Baxter Springs, Kansas, between a semi and a pickup. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Noe. It happened around 6 p.m. yesterday on Highway 166 west of Baxter Springs. Authorities say both vehicles were traveling east with the pickup in front. They then say the pickup slowed down to turn left when the semi went into the left lane and hit the pickup. The driver of the pickup was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A passenger in the pickup, 58-year-old Jeffrey Sappington, was killed. The driver of the semi was not hurt. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for a first look at weather.
All right, we had a beautiful day across the area, but then we had some showers and thunderstorms develop up towards our north about 4 hours ago, and those have been making their way to the south. You can see the outflow boundary here in the dark green here, this line stretching across our region. Zooming in on that activity, you can see the heavier showers now near Monette, up towards Mount Vernon, over towards Springfield, and also a few showers still back to the west near Pittsburgh and Weir. That's moving to the south and east and will be moving across the metro area over the next hour or so. So taking a look at the forecast tonight, we're going to see mostly fair skies as we go into the early morning hours, with those showers decreasing with a low around 55. If you're heading out to the lake tomorrow, Elk City Lake is about 5 feet below where it should be. Grand Lake is better. It's about a little over a foot below normal right now. And over at Table Rock, it's about 2 feet below normal. But Stockton Lake is almost over 5 feet below where it should be normally. So definitely take precautions there. Looking down the lane, sunny for your Sunday, then partly cloudy on Monday, and stormy kind of in the middle part of the week, and an unsettled pattern. And I'll explain all that in just a little bit.
Thanks. Local skaters were able to show off their tricks today at the PKY Skateboard Park. The annual Battle for the Cup skateboard competition showcased skaters from all around the area. The event included music, skater meet and greets, and of course, skateboarding. Prizes and trophies were rewarded to first, second, and third places in each skill level: best trick contest and best run.
Yeah, I've been skateboarding since I was 13 and I'm 38 now. So I've been doing this like for 20 some years now.
Probably about 10 years. I always had a board, but started taking it seriously about 10 years ago.
This was the 15th annual all-day competition. Carl Junction hosted its annual Marching Band Festival, where schools from across the state came together and performed in front of judges. Every band varies in size, from about 30 students to over 100 students. They are judged on multiple areas, and after each performance, every school is given feedback to help them improve in the future.
And we love having the area schools around. And what's cool about marching band is that it is competitive, but then they can sit and watch other bands and they cheer each other on. And it's really cool to have that.
I would love to have some more like props, and some of their shows are like super cool. Like last year there was like an Oompa Loompa show. That was really interesting and fun.
The top 10 bands had a chance to compete for the finals tonight. The city of Ware is celebrating their homecoming this weekend. Part of the homecoming celebration is to remember the town's history. Presenter and host David Wallace invited community members to share their stories, memorabilia, and knowledge of the history of Ware.
You know, I like a lot of it. I tell you, a lot of it's really interesting to me. The fact that this was a town that was really booming at one time. There was a lot of people lived here and a lot of things happened here.
The tent was set up from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today, Joplin hosted their annual surplus auction at the Joplin Public Works Center. Guests could come browse and bid on items such as power tools, bikes, furniture, vehicles, and more. A viewing for the items took place on Friday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., but today approximately 200 people attended the auction to purchase their desired items.
Surplus property, we declare that it's items that aren't being used anymore, and so we bring them to the auction and it goes to the highest bidder.
I bid on a bunch of DeWalt tools, cordless, and didn't get none of them, but I bid on them.
For more information, including a full item list, visit joplinmo.org/auction list. Coming up, we hear from residents in Missouri about the recent auto workers union strikes and its impact. Plus, a talk over Hollywood strikes may resume next week. We'll have the details. After failing to agree to a new contract, the United Auto Workers Union went on strike in several places, including Wentzville, Missouri. The workers are hoping for higher wages, but not everyone agrees with their method. Reporter Russell Kinsall spoke with the residents to get their thoughts.
They need to take care of the unions because they're the ones that making all the money for the big wigs up there.
The UAW went on strike last night at the Wentzville plant and 2 others. It's asking for a 40% raise over the next 4 years. The company is offering 20%.
I think they should pass it, to help them out, because I have a couple of friends that work there, and this town needs that, for their businesses.
Don Brown, owner of Don Brown Chevrolet, told me he thought the strike would deplete supplies of new cars at dealerships and drive up prices of both new and used vehicles.
They're going to make twice as much as a police, fireman, 3-4 times as much as teachers. It's just totally out of balance.
The owner of Duke's Barbecue says he's already heard from one of the GM plant suppliers about layoffs there.
It has a trickle-down effect, of course. A lot of people from GM come here on a daily basis, get their shift breaks to get food, so we may not see them for a while.
Tens of thousands of writers and actors are currently on strike in Hollywood, and other unions have used the threat of a strike to achieve pay raises this year. What does all this say about unions today?
The unions that exist are wielding some significant power, right? I mean, we've seen it all summer long, and we're seeing it again with the auto industry.
In St. Louis, more workers fought to join unions in 2023. Webster University professor Julie Palmer says they see it as the only way to have a voice about their working conditions.
I think this is accumulation of a number of years of employees being completely dissatisfied with their working conditions and with their pay and with their benefits.
2 of the big 3 American automakers are laying off employees as a result of the United Auto Workers strike. Ford says 600 employees at a Michigan subassembly and stamping plant were told not to report to work because they rely on the final assembly and paint departments, which are on strike. GM said about 2,000 employees in Kansas City will be laid off because the plant depends on parts from a Missouri plant, which is also on strike. Hollywood strike talks could resume next week. On Thursday, both the Writers Guild and the alliance representing Hollywood studios announced the planned sit-down. The 2 sides have been at a stalemate over a number of issues since May, including the number of writers employed on shows, residuals from streaming services, and how to handle AI technology. Pressure has been mounting going into the fall season. Drew Barrymore is apologizing to television and film writers after deciding to resume production on her show. Yesterday, Barrymore shared an emotional video explaining her decision to members of the Writers Guild of America who are in a bitter strike with studios. The apology comes after the Drew Barrymore show drew protests from the union after announcing last weekend it would resume production without WGA writers' contribution. A little later, the Missouri Southern Lions football hit the road and take on Nebraska Kearney.
And we're tracking some showers on radar, but what does that mean for the rest of your weekend as well as next week? We'll have the answer when we come back. Well, it's been a mixed bag of weather today. We started off cloudy and then we saw the sun come out, and now we have some more showers and thunderstorms on radar. But first, let's start out this morning at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. And as we go through the day, you can see that those clouds broke up around mid-morning, and then the sun came out this afternoon. But because it is so cold aloft, it generated some instability, and that instability sparked some thunderstorms up towards the north and west. But we did have a beautiful sunset out there. We made it up to 82 today after starting out at a relatively mild 64. So overall, we were above normal, although we were right on target for the high. And we're not on target for the rainfall. We're still about 11 and almost 3/4 of an inch behind just this year. Radar does show some showers and thunderstorms, mainly to the east from Mount Vernon and Monette on over towards Springfield, just south of I-44. Also, we have one thunder shower just in the northeastern corner of Cherokee County. Zooming in on that activity, you can see near Asbury, right here at the station, in fact. And then this is moving to the south and east, and we'll be crossing over into the Galena and Joplin area over the next half hour or so. And it is weakening, though. Temperatures right now are in the 60s up to the north. Check out Stockton. They're already down to 62. Meanwhile, it's 68 in Parsons. Still 70 degrees for our friends over in Sedan for one of the warmest readings. Dew points are in the 50s and 60s, and that's because of all the moisture that we have in the atmosphere. But as we go through time, the dew points are going to be dropping tomorrow into Monday, and then Tuesday, the dew points are going to be coming back up into the 60s because we have another storm system that's going to be impacting us late Tuesday into Wednesday, and you can see the dew points still staying in the 60s by the time we roll into Wednesday. Rain chances tonight are going to be decreasing as we go into the overnight hours and staying low pretty much all day tomorrow. Here's the storm system that's over us right now. It's moving to the south and east, and that will be moving out of the way as we go into overnight and tomorrow. And then the next storm system will start to move in here Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then just going to kind of meander around for a little while, generating showers and thunderstorms off and on through the work week. Taking a look at the forecast on the rainfall amounts, now if this model verifies, which is the GFS model, this will be great because it's forecasting over 1 inch of rainfall as possible in our area, maybe even 2 inches down in Oklahoma. But the European model says, hold the phone. It's not going to be all that impressive. So right now the models are still in an argument over exactly what's going to happen with these storm systems as we go through the work week. But in the meantime, we're going to be mostly fair tonight with lows in the 50s and 60s. And then as we go into tomorrow, partly cloudy with highs near 80, especially out to the west. And then as we go into Monday morning, we'll see lows in the 50s across the area, some lower 50s, in fact, maybe even a few upper 40s up to the north. And then in the afternoon on Monday, we're going to see partly cloudy skies with highs in the low to mid 80s, even approaching 90 out towards the west. Then Tuesday morning, the clouds start to roll in and some showers develop out towards the west with temperatures in the 60s. Over the next 7 days, we're going to see multiple chances of showers and storms, as I was showing you. Still have to wait and see exactly how much we're going to get, but hopefully we'll get quite a bit. But one thing's for sure, we're going to see seasonal temperatures around here, which is not a bad thing.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sam. Earth may not be within its safe operating space for humanity much longer. Analysis from 29 scientists in 8 countries is warning human actions have pushed the world into the danger zone in 6 of 9 categories. Those categories were designed to gauge survivability for people. They include things like climate change, biodiversity, and freshwater use. The good news is thresholds were purposely set conservatively, so when we surpass them, there's still time to course correct. Still ahead, a local volleyball tournament takes place in southeast Kansas with 10 different teams represented. And the Pittsburgh State Gorillas finished their game with a wild ending. We'll have those highlights and more next in sports.
Well, both of our local MIAA teams played their first 2 games of the season on Thursday nights. Now they both get back into their regular Saturday routines as the Lions and the Gorillas hit the road for the 2nd straight week. Pittsburgh State is undefeated going on the road against another undefeated team, Central Missouri. First quarter, Pitt State down 7-0. Chad Dotson launches this down the field, and Colby Katsis makes a tremendous catch. We're tied up 7-7. Katsis would have 200 receiving yards in this game. Third quarter now, Pitt State is tied 17-17. Cleo Chandler takes the handoff. He's in for the touchdown. Gorillas take the lead for the first time today, 24-17 Pitt State. Fourth quarter now, we're tied again, 24-24. Who's always open? The tight end, Dotson, goes to Devon Garrison, keeps his feet in bounds. Touchdown, Pittsburgh State. Gorillas back in front, 31-24. Late fourth quarter. We're tied yet again, 31-31. Dotson, DeMario Kirby, who's wide open for the touchdown. And the Gorillas had the lead, 38-31 with 1:48 left to play. So now, play of the game. Pitt State leads 38-37. Central Missouri going for 2 for the win, and they can't get it. Pittsburgh State will stuff that play. Never a doubt the Gorillas survive in a barn burner of a game. Pitt State beats Central Missouri by 1 point, 38-37. In Kearney, Nebraska, the Lopers are home against the Lions, who are hungry for a road win. First quarter, Lions on third down. Joko Willis comes out of nowhere for the sack, forces MSSU to kick a field goal, 3-0 Lions. Next offensive possession for the Lions, Luke Sampson finds Jaden Stoshak. Stow me the money. He scores a touchdown. 9-0 Lions lead. Into the second quarter now, TJ Davis hands off to Tamikas Napier for the touchdown. Lopers on the board. Still trail 9-7. Second half now, Luke Sampson hands on to Javion Marlowe, who scores the touchdown from Missouri Southern. Extends the Lions lead 15-7. Missouri Southern leads 18-13 here. Last chance for the Lopers, but the hands team comes through to recover the onside kick for the Lions, and that will do it. MSSU wins 18-13 as they improve to 2-1 on the season. Well, high school volleyball is underway in the state of Kansas, and in a weekend, a collection of 10 local Southeast Kansas teams got together for a tournament in Erie. Late morning volleyball action as Frontenac is taking on the Fredonia Yellow Jackets. Raiders won the first set, so we start things here in the second set. Fredonia's Zoe Sims puts a nice touch on the ball that finds some open floor. Later in the second set, it's going to be Zoe Sims again. She puts a little more juice into it that time. Yellow Jackets hanging around. Here come the Frontenac Raiders. Kendall Matlock going to tap this one over the net. No one's there to pick up the dig. So now that'll set up match point for Frontenac as Lucy Anderson with the big spike there. That will do it. Frontenac beats Fredonia 2-0. Next door to the main gym now, the host of the tournament. Erie Red Devils are facing the Girard Trojans early in the first set. Erie's looking to find some momentum here. Mackenzie LaRue gets enough velocity on that ball to go off the hands of Girard. Still in the first set, Erie's going to go over to Jackson Powell. He's going to find some open floor to serve there. Point Red Devils. Girard starting to settle in now. Erie's Ella Burnett going to go for the kill on this one, but Girard's Rachel Bennett is there to deny it for the block. Set point now as Maddie Custer for Girard gets the kill, and Girard will take the first set. So in the second set now, Girard's Riley Franklin's going to tap this one over the net. She finds the open floor. So that will set match point for Girard. Rachel Bennett will serve this one up, but Erie will not be able to handle it. And that's the match right there. So Girard beats the host team as they defeat Erie 2-0. Well, last year these two teams met. It was all Kansas State. They dominated the Missouri Tigers. This year, Mizzou gets K-State on their home field, so now we got to see which team's going to answer the call this Saturday. Starting off with the first drive of the game, Will Howard takes a snap. The ball is going to be deflected, and Phillip Brooks is there for the catch. Touchdown Wildcats, 7-0 K-State. Later in the first quarter, same score. Brady Cook steps up and delivers a huge throw to Luther Burden, who makes the catch. Touchdown. Tiger fans wondering, where has this been from Cook all season? Tie game 7-7. Second quarter now, Mizzou down 14-10. It's 4th and goal. Cook with a fake play. He takes it in for the touchdown. Mizzou leads 17-14. Third quarter now, tied at 17. Will Howard with a Tebow jump pass to Ben Sinnott. Touchdown Wildcats. Mizzou getting a little Colin Klein special there. Cats lead 24-17. Fourth quarter, Missouri down 24-20. Cook dumps up to Luther Burden. His speed does the rest. 26-yard Tigers take the lead off the touchdown, 27-24. So 3 seconds left in the game. It's tied at 27. And Mizzou's Harrison Melvis from 61 yards out. It is good. The longest field goal in SEC history. MIZ. Mizzou upsets K-State as the Tigers win it 30-27. In Oklahoma, down in Tulsa. Now, not too often these two teams meet, but that was the case today as the Sooners are on the road facing the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. It was all Sooners today as they wrap up this game as OU wins big, 66-17. Oklahoma State's in Stillwater facing the South Alabama Jaguars. Surprising result here. Cowboys lose on their home field 33-7 tonight. Boy, Mike Gundy's going to have to answer a lot of questions after that performance. And Arkansas is home against BYU tonight. And boy, the Hogs had a rough time at home tonight. Razorbacks almost completed the big fourth quarter comeback, but they fall just short as BYU defeats Arkansas 38-31. That'll be the sports. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Raising cattle is hard work, but one shelter in Oklahoma is using a unique approach to provide jobs and meals for people in need. Ryan Gillen has the moving story from Tulsa.
You want everything on yours?
Sitting down and enjoying a hot meal is an important part of the day. But at John 3:16, the organization believes good food
You want lettuce?
is more than just a basic need. It can be a source of new opportunities and experiences, even outside of the kitchen.
You're welcome.
Stephen Whitaker and the organization offer that through raising cattle.
With the inflation costs, with food costs and beef in particular, we got very serious about getting our own cattle here, and we started getting the fencing done and cattle guards and infrastructure done and hiring people, and got some students moved out to this campus.
Whitaker says raising cattle is intense work, but thinks it's meaningful for those in addiction recovery trying to get back on their feet.
We're supposed to love our work. It's not supposed to be something we dread, and so it's just one more piece of the puzzle to help people get their lives back together.
Along with providing people work, the cows are also being used to feed people coming to the shelter. Only 2 cows have been taken to the butcher shop so far, but Whitaker says it's great that the kitchen can make all sorts of things with the ground beef, chuck roast, and beef brisket provided.
It gives people a dignifying meal.
They leave the table not only full, but satisfied with the work they did to get it on the plate.
Nice weather tomorrow, then storms as we head into the middle part of the week, and seasonal temperatures.
Sounds great to me.
Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern both pick up wins on the road, and then both will be back at it at home next week. So hope to see a lot of home fans come forward to support their teams.
Absolutely.
That'll be great to watch. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.